I started out as a preschool teacher in the Santa Barbara area at a parent-child co-op school, and then eventually I ended up directing the school, and just the whole experience of working with the parents in the classroom with the children was just a wonderful experience. So when this opportunities kind of fell in my lap, I decided to try it out, and I actually like working with the high schoolers probably more than the parents.
Every year that I've done Bear Kitten, I've done a child observation portfolio. So at the end of the year, we give a child that we observe all year long, like this really nice scrapbook that we spend a bunch of time doing. You make that strong connection with them. And then, you know, seriously, it sounds cheesy, but it really just does make magic to be with children and work with children and care so much about them and how they're growing.
So even if you weren't looking to become a teacher, what this course has to offer gives you a lot of information just about life in general.
It's really actually helped me like kids. Like before, I was skeptical about them and didn't want to interact with them as much because I would think they'd not like me or something, but actually talking to them and get to know them, it's a whole different story now.
It's really affirmed what I want to do with my life. I've known that this is what I want to do, but honestly, it's given me a lot of experience under my belt that now I can go into this career path and think this is what I'm made for.
I decided to be in Bear Kittens because I just thought it would be a really good experience, and later in life I'm looking towards psychology, being a therapist or a social worker, so I knew I was going to be working with children more directly is what I want to do. So I thought it would be a good exposure to work with children. And even if you don't want to do it as a career, it's still just a great, I get to have a period of my day with hanging out with little kids and playing with toys, and it's such a great stress relief to just watch the kids and their smiles on their faces and how the little things are important to them, and it's just a smile on your face every day.
It completely changes you when you're sitting there and listening to them and speaking to them. They just have so much to give and so much that you can learn from them especially, and it's just such a fulfilling experience, and it just never gets old.
At elementary sites, there's more children identified now with special needs than there had been in the past.
We give priority on our waiting list to children who have speech issues, and so we really work closely with the speech program for small children in our district, and we really try to help them.
Our group has two of the most troublesome kids, and one of them is very sensitive to his surroundings and the other one doesn't want to participate. But we've been working to get them out of their shell and see if they're real them.
They all kind of inspire me every day. They're all brilliant little children, and it's crazy when you sit and listen to a child speak, you kind of you're not really expecting much, and you're expecting a little kid talk pretty much, but some of the things they say are just incredible, and inspiring in their own little ways.
I think one of the biggest thrills with small children is being able to say to them, I remember when you couldn't do that, and watching them learn something or do something they've never done before. I think those moments where things click for small children, and sometimes it's as simple as writing their name, and the pride is just immense. Those are the moments that probably resonate for me.
Because we have different centers based on different skills that the Bear Kittens should develop in preschool, just kids in general should develop. And I was at sensory, which is basically hands-on, fine motor, and we were doing kinetic sand with little shapes. And this one kid, it was really hard for him to cut it out, and he just couldn't do it. And then finally, like, he did it and got a perfect shape with the cookie cutter, and he was so excited.
It's those little, like, almost like aha moments where the kid finally gets it, or gets it for the first time, and they're just super excited about it, because that's something that, you know, we all strive to be successful.
It's really inspiring to know that, like, these are the future generations, and, like, my job right now is to shape them into the people they're going to become. And so, like, that's what makes it really important to, like, really show them all that you care, because you're really kind of turning them into the next, adults. They could be the next great minds, the next big thinkers, like, future scientists, presidents, you name it. Like, they're full of possibility, and we get to be those first steps to really, show them that they have a purpose in this world.
I think we kind of take advantage of, or take for granted, a lot of what happens in the development of a child, and it's just, to me, a really magical experience, and I take great joy in just kind of being part of it and getting to see all those moments with small children. And so I think just as I've grown in early childhood education, I've understood the depth and the importance of that developing child.
I think every person should take a child development class, because it makes us understand a little bit more about not just ourselves, but about everybody else, and why we act and behave the way that we do, because sometimes we don't understand other people, and if we don't have the background of why they might be reacting that way or behaving that way, it's hard for us to sympathize or be empathetic toward them. I think with this course, we're learning that there's a lot that goes into behavior, not just, we think of behavior oftentimes as acting out, but if we understand the biological process, like things that are happening within the brain, our experiences that we've had, our culture, how we respond to stuff, then we can be more empathetic to other people.
Like, what you're giving them now is, like, kind of the building blocks of what they're going to build the rest of their personalities and their interests and likes and everything from. So know that what you're doing is, like, extremely meaningful and extremely